everyone, I'm Angela Drake. Welcome to my channel, and today in the Writer Zone we are continuing our series on Preptober. And I'll tell you, it's been a week. I left here a week ago today and spent 6 days in Eureka Springs. The first 4 were spent at the Ozark Creative Writers Conference. I spoke on Friday on setting up a blog and using a blog to market yourself as an author. And it seemed to be well received, so we shall see how things progress from there. But I enjoyed speaking at the conference. I've been going, this was my 25th year. So I'm already geared up and ready to go back next year. We do this the second weekend in October, sorry about that, every year. And I will make sure to leave the link in my videos all the time so you always know. The information for the new year usually posts to their website about May. Actually, I think I'm going to have to hold off because we are getting a new website. And so as soon as I have the link for the new website, I will begin posting it in the description box below. We get some very high caliber writers there. And as far as for our keynote speakers and agents and editors, and we have a publisher's row where if you want to be traditionally published, you can pitch. It's a great time, and I hope you'll join me next year. In the meantime, back to Preptober. And like I said, I am way behind on everything here. I did take my Preptober book, and I know it's backwards. I'm still working on some things here. This is the Preptober workbook from Sarra, and I will leave the information down below. It's a great way. She's added a menu planning thing this year, which is really good because it gave me an idea of some things that I could have quick for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, so that I could get it planned out and I could do my shopping ahead of time and have things ready to go. So I really like that idea. But today we're talking about having an idea of what you're going to do. Now, you don't have to be a plotter to prep in Preptober. But how many times have you sat down to the computer screen and that little cursor blinks at you? And you have no clue what to type to make that little cursor go away. That's what Preptober is about. Whether you are a pantster or a plotter, a quilter, somewhere in between, it's always a good idea to have a germ of an idea. And she has an idea brainstorm sheet in here, and then she also has a sheet that's called my NanoWriMo novel, where you're going to put down a working title. You're going to get your basic premise in order, who your characters are, both your main and your secondary characters. If there's a villain, what is the conflict, and what do you hope to resolve all the way through by the end of your book? Just some tips to get your brain going so that when you do sit down on November 1st, whether you start at 12:01 a.m. or start, in real daylight like some of us, you have something to look at and think, okay, I know who he is. Now, what do I want to do with him? And you can take off from there. But you have a starting point, and that's important. If you have an idea of your setting, your period, your structure, your cities, remember, anything that involves not actually writing your story, you can do prior to NanoWriMo. So if you're going to create a world, you can start drawing pictures or making all kinds of notes as to what you want your setting to be like, what you want your city to be like, what kind of clothes they're going to wear, if you're doing a fantasy or a sci-fi, where you can virtually create whatever kind of world you want. Pre-Nano is the time to do that. So get out a sketch pad, get out your notepad, type away notes on your computer, whatever works for you, so that when NanoWriMo begins on November 1st, you have that germ of an idea. And a lot of us, if you're planning worlds and stuff, it's like, I can't wait to get started, I can't wait to get started. So that when November 1st starts, you have that point that you want to take off on. You can walk down that street and set that first scene as you go. The key thing is to know the why. And there's actually 2 whys. Why do you want to tell this story, and why are you the one to tell this story? If you can answer those 2 questions, you have your germ of an idea. You're ready to go. It's that simple. And if you're a plotter, You can map out what's going to happen, your scene and structure through each individual chapter. Excuse me. If you're a pantser, you've got basic notes. That's all you need, just so that it's out of your head and down in front of you, so that come November 1st you don't draw a blank. And I have done that. I have also written a complete novel in 27 days, and it was the first one that I had published. I don't recommend that, driving yourself absolutely crazy. I was a zombie on the 27th day, but I had been into the story every single day, and that's going to be a tip. Try not to take any breaks from writing if you can help it. Because if you're into your story, every single day you're going to build consistency. You're going to build your word count. If you do writing sprints, you're going to find that the amount of words that you build into a sprint are going to increase. I've set my plot out to be 500 words per sprint, and I need 5 sprints a day, because based on the number of sprints that number of words that I need in the month on the days that I can write. And for the most part, it's a steady stream, particularly in the first 2 weeks, because Bob will be gone the first 2 weeks. So I have nothing in those first 2 weeks other than my normal paper day job that will prevent me from writing. So I'm really wanting to build my word count in those first 2 weeks that Bob is gone, so that when I am taking the time off when he's home, I'm not losing that momentum quite as much, because I'm already going to be deep into the story. And if I have to take a day or 2 off to be with him, then I'm good. And what I usually do when Bob is home, I don't know if I've discussed this before, but he is home 21 days and he is gone 21 days. So that 21 days, I have really long days that I work. But when he's home, he comes home on a Wednesday night. I usually do not work the first weekend he's home at all. And I don't work the last weekend from Friday through Monday on the last week that he's home. So there's 9 days that I completely lose to spend that time with him. Not that he requires it, I require it. Because it doesn't matter how many words I write, how many books I publish, those are not going to be the things I want to remember. Should something happen to him, I want to remember the time we spent together, not how much time we did not spend together. And that's just a personal preference for me. So that's what I want you to think about between now and next Friday, is think about why you're the one to tell the story. Why do you want to tell the story to begin with? Think about your characters, think about your setting, and while you're doing all this prepping and planning, hop down there and click the link to go see Sarra Cannon at her HeartBreathings channel, and she will link you up with how to get her Preptober workbook absolutely free. That simple. You sign up for her emails, and every time once you sign up for her emails, every time she posts a video and gives away a freebie, you're automatically going to get notification in your email that she has a new workbook coming out. So I love Sarra to pieces, and I can't say enough about her. In January, while I'm thinking about it, another person that I dearly love is Alexis Joystra. She is Alexis, aka Miss Trenchcoat. And when it comes to marketing your business, which is your business as a writer or any creativity business, she has the perfect planner for it. In fact, I'll probably may do that in December, so you can get your creativity planner and start thinking ahead for the year 2022. Hard to believe we're almost there, isn't it? Almost done with 2021, and we're still here. We're still surviving, and I hope that you're beginning to thrive after last year. And now with all the craziness, I'm not sure I don't know what people did last year with NanoWriMo. I did not participate much because Bob was home most of November. So, excuse me. So this year, he's gone the first 2 years. I have a book I have got to write. Oh, excuse me. I have a book I have got to write. I need to get book 2 done. When I was down in Eureka Springs, many people that work at the hotel were asking me where book 2 was at, and they're anxious. So I've got to get book 2 done. And the other thing I thought about was, unless I want to set one of my books, because there's 4 of them in that series, unless I want to set one of my books during the pandemic, I need to get all of them timed out to where they're happening one right after the other in the year 2019. So, because book 1 was in 2018, so now we're going to go into 2019, and we're going to get book 2, book 3, and book 4 set in 2019, so that everything happens prior to the pandemic. I'm just not sure if I could write a book about the pandemic and how people were affected, but I have had a germ of an idea in my head. So that's not to say it's not going to happen, but not until this Eureka Spring series, this Ozark series is finished. I will leave a link to my Ozarks journal, or my Ozarks Christmas book down below. And next week we are going to talk about our characters a little bit, and things to think about in the form of our characters as we plan Preptober. So thanks for joining me in the studio today, and I will see you back here next Friday. Happy writing!